I'm halfway through it now, but it's a really interesting book and a kind of cool story on how it transpired with him going back to rebuild the walls of the his city of his ancestors, and he was made governor, and just him having a battle against enemies and bring people together. And either way, if everyone gets a chance to read it, it's a really interesting book. But this excerpt is from Nehemiah 5:15 that says, the former governors, in contrast, had laid heavy burdens on the people, demanding a daily ration of food and wine, besides 40 pieces of silver. Even the assistants took advantage of the people. But because I feared God, I did not act that way. And today, I'm just grateful for life, health, and strength. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for my wife, my children, um, each and every one of you. I'm grateful for opportunity. Um, and just grateful for just another day to be above ground. Um, in this particular scripture, in this particular part of that story, I should say, um, when Nehemiah now had gone to be the governor of um, Jerusalem, Judah, but Jerusalem, right? Um, he there were like certain things were already in place, like the walls were already fall down or whatever, and he started to rebuild it. He started to get things together. He started to pull everyone together to rebuild it and do all of this. But one of the complaints was that there were persons in the city who was um, lending money to each other, but they would lend them at these high interest rates. You know, so even though it may have seemed like they was helping, they was really helping themselves. Like they was underneath the context of, yeah, we helping you to rebuild your life, right? But then they would lend them their money to the point where like these people had to actually give up their children as slaves to their own people as repayment. You know what I mean? Um, and Nehemiah basically pulled all them together and he told them, listen, um, today that stops. We ain't doing that no more. We're not doing that anymore. Like, um, we coming together as a people. You need to give each other interest-free loans, and this is the only way that we can be able to rebuild back our society. You know, and the part that stood out to me is why I wanted to share is because of Nehemiah's line of thought. See, we have this conscious that is built into us, right? Where we know right and wrong from children. And that's why it's be so important for you to correct your children um, at a very young age, because if you catch your children in a white lie and you laugh that off, that can grow bigger, and that behavior just can snowball, you know. But if you nip that in the bud and you get that under control from a young age, like that's something that you wouldn't have to worry about in the future. But it's the method of thinking behind it. That because I don't do certain things because I fear God. I don't act this way towards people because I feared God. And he could have used all different, he could have given you 20, 30 different other reasons why what they were doing is wrong. It's wrong for you to take my children as slaves. It's wrong for you to put the high interest rate. But he didn't. He says that, listen, you had your own choice whether you do it or not, right? But I don't do it because I fear God. And he said that to them in the pretense as to say that, listen, y'all see where God has taken me. You know what I mean? And I'm operating on that same plane. God has exalted me from being the wine cupbearer of Artaxerxes to now being the governor of my region. And all of this has been, and if you read through this book, like every step Nehemiah took, he prayed through it. When he asked the king he didn't even ask him for the position of governor, really. He just asked him to go home and rebuild the walls of his city because the king saw him miserable. But he prayed, and then he asked the king. And then when other parts he did, he prayed and then he asked. But one of the most important things was is that he moved that is in the story, he moves through with integrity because he feared God. And your level of integrity in your life should match up to that because you fear God. You know that at the end of the day, God sees and He knows all. He knows it make no sense hiding. But at the end of the day, let your decisions be based on that. And you can watch your integrity just line up with it at the same time. Um, I got to get back to my baby right quick. He up. So thank you again, everyone, for the opportunity to speak to you all again this morning, as always. And Shalita and Levette, always good. And Dero, always good to just be on stage with each and every one of you. So I'm Kerry, and I'll pass my mic back to the moderator.